Shelley Winkel. Here we are in the Queensland room in Cairns, an Australian Tourism Exchange, and I've got to say Cairns and Tourism Tropical North Queensland have done an awesome job.
It's amazing.
Yeah. They've done it so well, and it's been so earthy in terms of, you know, about what this region's about, the food, the people. I was walking on the street last night, and I'm carrying my camera, and it was only about 9 o'clock or whatever, and this bus pulled up, right, with nobody in it, and the driver says, "Mate, are you with ATE?" He said, "Where are you going?" So I'm going to the Novotel. "Oh, I'll take you there."
Aww,
isn't that nice?
You've got to love people up here.
Oh, it's brilliant. Now, so your former role was responsible for publicity and all that sort of stuff, okay, for domestic side of things,
Correct,
for TQ or TEQ. And I know you've got a new job, okay, which is Manager Global Publicity for Eastern Markets. But I've always admired you as a font of all knowledge. Okay?
I hope so. I was born in Queensland, so I know the product quite well.
Well, what I'd like to talk about today is, you know, trying to get a head around on what's new, what's exciting, what's hot in terms of Queensland as a tourism destination for all markets, really. So, release the handbrake on the truck.
Okay, here we go. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, I think we should start at the capital.
Yep.
Let's start with Brisbane. Massive changes in Brisbane. It's a city that's just grown up.
It's grown up, hasn't it?
It's so changed. And we're hosting the G20 later in this year. So what that's done is brought on a whole spate of new hotels. So we had one open last week. I don't know if you're familiar with Caxton Street.
Yes, yeah.
If you could get any closer to Suncorp Stadium, you'd be sitting in the bleachers.
Wow,
it's that close.
That's good.
Gorgeous property, a few more coming on board, and what you're seeing as well is the gentrification of the valley area. So always known as a little bit of a historical area of Queensland or Brisbane, new hotels popping up, and you must see the M&A apartments.
Okay.
Fantastic restaurants down below that. So literally it's
the M&A apartments, is that the big Merison building or?
No, it's not that. Yeah. That's Infinity, and that opened a couple of months ago. So that one's gorgeous as well.
Yeah. So M&A.
M&A. Okay, it's on the corner of two streets whose names I've just forgotten. But
right in the CBD. Yep.
No, down in the valley.
Oh, in the valley. Okay,
in the new lifestyle precinct there. So I think we've got in total in 12 months, maybe about 8 hotels coming on board in Brisbane. So lots of new inventory. To back that up, incredible cultural elements. So if you want a blockbuster show, if you want to see modern art, there's a 1 kilometre precinct down by the river, and Brisbane's the place to be to just.
So lots of accommodation coming online in Brisbane, and lots of new restaurants and bars, and I think it's the coffee shop capital of the world, it feels like to me these days. But what about things to do in terms of, you know, gardens, activities and stuff like that?
Heaps of things to do in Brisbane.
Yeah.
Okay. I would start, go to River Life.
Yeah.
Lots of outdoor activities. So you can abseil down the Story Bridge.
Wow.
You can climb up the Story Bridge. You can paddle under the Story Bridge. You can cycle around the Story Bridge. And one thing that everyone has to do is jump on a city cat and explore from one end of the city to the other by this incredible ferry service.
So I've heard about paddle and prawns. So tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, so Friday night, jump in a kayak. You are guided through the Brisbane River or down the Brisbane River. Stars come out at night, the city lights come up, and you end the whole tour with a big bucket of prawns and perhaps a little bit of beer as well.
Fantastic. Now, getting out of Brisbane, what's exciting around the various regions of Queensland?
Okay, I've got a new one. I love it. This is a personal favourite. I'm not sure if you've heard of the Southern Great Barrier Reef, and the jump-off point is Bundaberg, but slightly north of Bundaberg is 1770.
Lovely, yes.
Small little beach town, population 2,000, amazing beaches. It's the northernmost surf beach of Australia. But it's
because after there's no more surf, is there, because of the Barrier Reef?
That's it. But the great thing is, if you want to surf and then snorkel, this is the one place to do it. So
let's keep on our journey north. What else
One thing that I've just discovered, the Whitsundays and learning to sail. So this is a big deal. If you want the best sailing waters probably in the world, if not Australia, it's the Whitsundays. There's 74 islands. You can hire a yacht. They will teach you how to sail within about 4 or 5 hours.
Wow.
And there you are. You're chartering the yacht around these amazing islands. Stop at little beaches, jump off the yacht, swim, get back on, go with a group of friends. A great way to discover the islands.
Amazing, yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
What about in the outback and sort of that red bit of Queensland?
Okay.
You go over the hills and over the mountains, and all of a sudden, whoa, there's another Queensland.
There is another
that nobody's
Queensland.
discovered yet.
But there's one before you get to the outback that not many people know about. Have you heard of Carnarvon Gorge?
I have, but tell me more.
Well, this is just as you were explaining, you're driving through this arid landscape and you're thinking, where am I going? What am I doing out here? And suddenly, probably Australia's answer to the Grand Canyon opens up, but it's the Green Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
So it's gorgeous hiking through creeks that have knee-deep, crystal clear water. You've got kookaburras scooting around you, big nature, lots of great walks and beautiful Aboriginal art.
Nobody there?
Nobody there. Maybe about 100 people there.
Yeah.
Nobody. Yeah.
Nobody. Yeah.
Nobody.
Well, that's
yeah.
compared to the Grand Canyon, that's bugger all. Really.
Yeah, I know, it's gorgeous.
So moving further inland then.
Probably a favourite place of mine would be Longreach, and Longreach is kind of the birthplace of Australia for a lot of things, I'd have to say. If you want to go completely back in history, 2 hours up the road from Longreach is the Australian age of dinosaurs, and this is where probably the biggest dinosaur production factory in the world.
Wow.
Where you can actually help prep a dino. Look at these dinos that have just been discovered in the earth in the last 30 or 40 years, and it's also the birthplace of Qantas.
Oh, of course, Longreach, yes.
Longreach.
There's a Longreach Museum there as well.
There is a museum, it's the Qantas Founders Museum, so you can actually get on a wing of a Qantas and walk on a wing. You can discover some of the really cool jet engines that first came out, or jet planes that came out. Lots of history out there, but if you want to even do other historical things, one of the greatest ones, Kinnan and Co. Stagecoach. So you get on the back of an old mail run, and it takes you on a gallop on the original mail track.
Oh, brilliant.
6 horses pulling the carriage. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Awesome,
it's better than the
so
theme ride.
How can people keep up to date with? I mean, you've got all this information in your mind and all this sort of stuff, right? But if I was thinking, oh well, I've got a weekend or I've got a week, I live on the Sunshine Coast. Where am I going to go in Queensland? I've got a car. I'm going to head north. Where can I find out information about where to find all these amazing things that are in your mind?
There's 2 things. Number one, Queensland.com. Very easy to remember, but even more, try queensland.com/blog, and people like myself who go into region all the time, we're updating tips like the 5 best coffee shops on the Sunshine Coast, the top 5 rides on the Gold Coast, best hikes, best camping spots, and they're all there, and they're written by people like myself who know this state inside out.
Brilliant. Well, Shelley, thank you for your time today and your insights into the wonderful state of Queensland, which remains to a large number of people and to the world outside still to be discovered.
It is, and it's a beautiful place. Please come and visit us.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.